Hello students, welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll solve the first writing passage of the April 2019 US SAT. Out of many, one experience. On June 20, 1965, murmurs of excitement filled a Kingston, Jamaica auditorium where way more people than were expected gathered for commencement services at the University of the West Indies. Which choice helps establish the tone and style of the passage? So let's just read a little further and then we'll come back to this. Along with the 400 graduates, many people had come to hear the words of that year's commencement speaker, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Furthermore, the Jamaican audience was familiar with Dr. King's ongoing campaign for civil rights in the US through newspaper reports and television broadcasts, and the effect of seeing Dr. King ascend to the podium just feet away from where they stood was thrilling. Okay, so this passage is about Dr. King's attending this commencement ceremony at the University of Kingston, University of West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. So the way it's written, way more people than were expected. This does not sound too formal. So I don't like this. I need to choose something which is formal. So not A. An unusually large crowd. That makes sense because that is respectful. And it also explains that there were many graduates and there were many other people who had come to hear Dr. King. So I like B. A whole bunch of unexpected people. Again, I don't like the word bunch here. It's informal and does not really suit people. An enormous crowd of an unparalleled nature. Okay, this is excessive. An enormous crowd would have been enough. Unparalleled nature is kind of redundant when I'm already saying it's enormous. So the best answer is option B. Okay, at this point, the writer wants to add the following sentence. The university was established by Royal Charter in 1948. Should the writer make this addition here? So that doesn't make any sense here because I'm talking about Dr. King speaking at the university. The fact that it was established by Royal Charter is not relevant. So it's a no answer. It needlessly interrupts the discussion of Dr. King's visit with an irrelevant detail. So this is a good option because that's exactly why we don't need it. Because it merely repeats information about the university that is given elsewhere in the passage. So we have just started reading, so we don't know if it's mentioned elsewhere, but I'm going to go with C because that's the best answer. Furthermore, the Jamaican audience was familiar with Dr. King's ongoing campaign. Okay, so I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people had gathered to listen to Dr. King. And here I'm talking about the fact that they were familiar with his campaign for civil rights. Dr. King was speaking just feet away from them. That was thrilling, right? So now if you look at furthermore, that doesn't really fit here because I'm kind of explaining why it was thrilling for people in this sentence, right? So furthermore is when you have additional information that follows from the previous sentence. So I don't think that makes sense here. As a result, it doesn't make sense because this sentence is not a result of the previous sentence. So it's not B. And it is definitely not contrast. So I don't think you need a connector here. You're just explaining that there were so many graduates and people who had come to hear Dr. King, and then you're explaining why there were so many people. So you don't need any connector here. The days preceding not only inspired the audience, but also furthered Dr. King's aim of enhancing solidarity between the two countries. So the day's proceedings, right? What happened, the day's events, that's what we need. Preceding is what comes before, so that doesn't fit here. Precedence is the noun for what comes before, right? For example, the precedent to this action. So that doesn't make sense here. And procedures is like an action taken as part of a task, right? For example, what is the procedure to complete this step? So that doesn't make sense either. We just need to say events, so proceedings is fine. Without even consulting notes, Dr. King began to speak passionately about challenges common to Jamaica and the US. At the time, both countries were on the cusp of great change. Jamaica, which would have achieved independence from Great Britain less than 3 years earlier, was in the process of forming a government. Okay, so without even consulting notes, the comma here makes sense because this part is dependent and I have an independent clause after that. So to separate them, I would use a comma. So I like this. I can't use a semicolon between two parts if one of them is dependent. So it's not B. I don't need to use a dash. A dash is normally used with additional information when you use a dash pair or as a replacement for a colon. So this is not the best usage of the dash. And you certainly can't have a full stop because without even consulting notes is not a sentence. So A. At the time, both countries were on the cusp of great change. Jamaica, now we know that Jamaica got independence less than 3 years earlier. So I can't say would have, right? Because it's already happened. So it's not A. I can't say achieves because I need to use the past tense. So it's not B. Will have is future. So it can't be C. Having achieved, right? That is correct. Jamaica having achieved independence from Great Britain less than 3 years earlier. So that action has already happened. Was in the process of forming a government. The writer is considering revising the underlined portion to the following. The US, meanwhile, was on the path to expanding civil rights for its citizens. For both countries, the quest for political and social rights was laden with setbacks. Okay, so I think I want to make this revision because the previous sentence is saying both countries were on the cusp of great change. So if I'm speaking about how Jamaica was in the process of forming a government, I should also talk about what was going on in the US, right? Because then that explains how both countries were on the cusp of great change. So yes, I want to make this revision. It explains why the audience felt a strong connection to Dr. King's words. No, that has already been discussed. This is not the reason for including a reference to the US. Yes, because it provides support for the claim made in the previous sentence, right? So this is the reason, because in the previous sentence, we are referring to both countries, so we should explain how. For both countries, the quest for political and social rights was laden with setbacks. Fixing his gaze on the graduating seniors, Dr. King declared that the present generation must recognize that no nation can live alone. We are all interdependent. He emphasized the need for a spirit of love and worldwide brotherhood from facing the challenges of the future. Okay, so I'm saying he emphasized the need for something, and then I need to decide the correct preposition here. So the best answer would be in facing. He emphasized the need for a spirit of love in facing the challenges of the future. So this is called idiomatic usage. You have to understand which preposition will best fit the context. So I like C. From facing is not correct. And again, as I say in idiomatic, you can't really give a reason because that's how the language works. That's how prepositions work. For the facing of is not correct. It's also too wordy. And through facing is also not correct. He emphasized the need for a spirit of love in facing the challenges of the future. For Dr. King, Jamaica's newly minted national motto, out of many, one people, perfectly encapsulated this precept of unity. Dr. King spoke about unity that day. He also inspired unity. Years later, when asked by reporters what they remembered most, many audience members cited the same moment in the speech. Which choice most effectively combines the underlined sentences? Dr. King spoke about unity by inspiring at that day? No, that distorts the meaning. I am not saying that he spoke by inspiring it, right? I'm saying that he didn't just speak about it, he also inspired it. So this is not correct. Though speaking about unity that day, Dr. King actually inspired it. Again, this though is a contrasting conjunction, so this distorts the meaning. Speaking about unity, however, Dr. King also inspired it. No, again, this does not convey the right meaning. Dr. King did not just speak about unity that day, he inspired it. Yeah, so this is right, because in the previous paragraph, I have said he spoke about unity, and now I'm saying he did not just speak about it, he also inspired it. Years later, when asked by reporters what they remembered most, many audience members cited the same moment in the speech. They all recalled that Dr. King had said, "If it falls to our luck to be street sweepers, sweep the streets like Raphael painted pictures, like Michelangelo carved marble. Sweep the streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth would have to pause and say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper.'" For people building a new nation, these words were particularly meaningful. Everyone's efforts had great worth, everyone had an important role to play. Okay, now I need to decide the punctuation here for people building a new nation, right? I'm defining people by the fact that they were building a new nation. So I can't have a comma after people. So option A is wrong. Yeah, so B is correct for people building a new nation. So this is good. I can't have a comma after building because that would not make sense. A new nation would be left hanging. And I can't have a semicolon after for people because that's not an independent sentence. So B. The experience had a profound effect not only on historians but also on Dr. King, who returned to Jamaica 2 years later when he needed a place to write his next book. Which choice provides the best transition from the discussion in the previous paragraph? He had an effect not only on historians, reporters, the audience, and those who spoke with him. So it'll be the audience, right? Because we know that the audience were inspired by his words, right? So this experience had an effect not only on the audience, but on Dr. King himself, right? So historians, reporters is not correct because they are people who were not really present there. They recorded this later for the sake of historical record. And it's not just those who spoke with him, but audience in general who listened to him, right? So C is the best answer. Okay, let's grade this. Question 1 onwards. B, C, D, C, A. B, C, D, C, A. And D, B, C, D, B, C. D, B, C, D, B, C. Okay, great. So we got all correct. Hope this exercise was useful. If it helped, hit like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Take care. Bye-bye.